That's a direct order. Do it now.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, February the 13th, 2025. We are roll call, black, white, and blue for better relations. I'm here with a few of my friends. I got D with us. I got Dave with us. I got Cheech. I got JT. I got Derek, Jamel, Rich, Jerry, and Mark are with us on today. We're gonna move through our show today, and hopefully we say some things that is interesting to you, and that you would participate and join in with us on Facebook Live Roll Call, Black, White, and Blue for Better Relations. I want to have, first of all, let's have the introduction with a moment of silence for those police officers and law enforcement officers that have transitioned, passed away, and even our family and loved ones that have passed away. One being a retired lieutenant from the Hempstead Police Department, Natisha Robinson's father passed away, so we want to make sure we keep the family in our prayers. All right, thank you so much for that, D. At this time, we're going to have a disclaimer from Cheech and a statement of purpose.
One thing I want to add.
Oh, hold up, JT. Hold up. Statement of purpose from who was the statement of purpose from? Jamal. Okay.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Before we get started, there's a couple of things we wanted to go over. First of all, we want to let you know that the comments made by members of Roll Call are the opinions of each individual. They're not intended to be legal advice or a recommendation for anybody. As you know, the laws change from village to village, state to state. So please consult with a local attorney or your local police department for any advice. Also, once in a while, we will display, actually every time we do display videos and photographs. We use these so that we can spark our conversations. Some of these videos are very graphic in nature, so we will let you know ahead of time when we're going to play something like that. These videos are not intended to offend anybody. We get them from social media like YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So they're available to the public. Anybody out there can see the same videos and photographs that we look at. A member of Roll Call will let you know when we are going to play one of these videos. Also, we want to let you know that the language used by members of Roll Call is very spontaneous. Everybody here speaks from the heart. We don't hold back. We speak our truth. You might see us don't agree on some things, and we might go back and forth, but we don't take it personal, so we hope that you don't take it personal either. And that's it. Thank you.
Jamel?
Everyone. This is Roll Call, Black, White, and Blue for Better Relations. We're happy that you could join us today. Know that we operate out of four main tenets. We are pro-law enforcement. We are anti-racism. We believe in equitable policing. And Black Lives Matter, marginal lives matter. They matter. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Cheech, and thank you, Jamel. We're still praying for.
Marginal lives matter.
All right, we're praying for Cheech. We're praying for JT and his wife Orlando. We're praying for Melba. We're praying for Mark Matthews and his family. Tyrone, his wife Ursa. Ursa's been under the weather, so we're praying for her. Dave, we're praying for you. First of all, with our fraternity brother that passed away, but also for your place of employment, where you spoke about immigrants working there, and afraid to come to work because of the situation in our government right now. So if you want to say something about it later on, I'll let you say something about that later on. Then I want to say Happy Valentine's Day, especially to all the women, but I say it to you men as well, but especially to the women. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm not your Valentine. I have one Valentine. Her name is Sylvia Butler. So I just say happy Valentine to y'all, but she's the Valentine. All right. Let's say and then it came to our attention this week that one of our retired lieutenants from the Hempstead Police Department, Letitia Robinson, her father has transitioned. The funeral was today, I believe. And so we're praying for her and her family today as well. Before we go any further, JT has something to say, and I want to make sure that he gets his point across before we start moving into it, because today we're doing something new today. Not nothing new. We're using somebody new. We're gonna let Cheech lead us in the discussion today. Now I'm gonna tell you, he was a little hesitant, but he said, "Listen, what I got to do," and he took it on. So Cheech, thank you for taking it on. JT, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just want to bring up the fact that most of you guys and ladies are too young to remember Al Burrell. Well, his brother passed away a day or two ago, Kenny
Kenny,
Burrell.
Kenny Burrell. Okay.
Yeah.
So let us keep the Burrell family in prayers also. Ken Burwell was very instrumental with the Guardians Association with Nassau County Police Department. Um, and his brother Al was involved. So our prayers definitely go to and he just transitioned JT.
Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago.
Okay, I see. It was in our personal chat that someone was asking, did we? But I hadn't heard of until just now. But
I went to school with his son, Kenny Jr., and my father coached his son baseball little league back in the day. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Let's
he
see,
was a good friend of mine too.
when you start bringing up those names, you got to put Derek's cousin in there, Jack Pierce, and
Yeah.
man, you talking about
Julius.
Julius Pierce. Jack is your uncle, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So Julius Pierce. Man, these were serious old timers when we were very few on the police department.
Yeah, they were pioneers.
Yeah,
Pioneers,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
All of
Oh,
them.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
They actually paved the way
Yep.
for us to be in law enforcement, and especially in this time and era. So I thank God for them. And when you say Julius Pierce, when you say Al Burwell, when you say Kenny Burwell, and what's the other one? Mark Mayweather. Mayweather. Those are names that they don't just slip by. What was the commissioner's name?
Willett,
Um,
Blake
Willett.
Willett's father. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Blake's father, right?
Yeah,
Blake Willett's father.
his father.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. So that's history right there. So I thank God for them. All right. So thank you, JT, for bringing that up. Thank you so much.
Problem.
Rich, what you doing?
I just want to acknowledge my first cousin, Gregory Jordan.
Okay.
We didn't talk about him, but Gregory Jordan.
Gregory Jordan was a transit police officer.
Correct, retired transit police officer.
I actually saw that. He was a transit police officer, so we thank God for that as well. I see a whole lot of hands. Your hands don't work. I just want to make sure that we got this going on because Cheech's going to be leading us today, and I want to make sure. I see your hand, Mark, but do your hand work on your machine?
It is, but normally if we just want to jump in on something, we use our physical hands. I just wanted to add Lorenzo Rochester, who was also a pioneer.
Okay. All right. So if y'all can do it, not for me, but for Cheech, because Cheech is going, because I'm looking at the whole screen and I'm used to looking at the whole screen. Cheech is used to looking at himself. I'm sorry, Cheech.
I'm trying to see where the hands come up. Am I going to see them when the hands come up?
So you know what, we'll help you. Myself and Dee will assist you with that. So you just concentrate on what you got to do today. Cheech, we're actually putting it in your hands at this point. I don't think anyone else has anything else, but we're putting it in your hands at this point, Cheech.
Yeah. Well, to get us started, we're going to look at a video of some Connecticut officers that were serving a search warrant, and they ended up getting into a shootout.
Police with a search warrant! Police with a search warrant, come to the door! Police with a search warrant, come to the door! Police!
Come out.
Police department, come to the door. Okay, hey, come out.
Come out.
Here you go. Put the sign here.
My baby.
All right, come.
Who else is here?
Get her.
Go, come on out.
Come out.
I saw you tucked in the room. Get out here.
Come out. Come out. Okay, you're okay. Show me your head. Show me your fuck. What's the problem? Shut up. Fuck. Here, shield up. Here.
He's to the right. He's to the left.
So Marty, is it this door?
No, to the left.
Right here.
It's a quick button. Look, it's right around here. It's right on this wall.
Okay.
It's right around this wall.
Room over to the right. We got blood on the floor to the right. Shot from the right side of the
Marty, are you in the bathroom?
front door right here.
You're right.
Just know that.
See you, Joe.
Right there. That's the room right there. Yeah.
Marty, get out of here when you can.
Oh! Get out! Get the fuck out of there! Get out!
Get me out!
Get out!
Just another view.
Come out. Come out. I saw you tucked in the room. Get out here.
Come out.
Get out here. Get out here.
My baby.
Get out here. Go.
You're my baby.
Shots fired.
Come here.
Rob, you good?
Come here. Get out.
Rob, you good?
Hold on, back up.
Fuck! Rapper, where?
Stage an ambulance.
Here. Rapper, keep talking.
Police with a search warrant. Come to the door.
Come to the door.
Police with a search warrant. Come to the door. Police.
Come out.
Police department. Come to the door. Okay. Hey. Come out. Here you go. Put the sign here.
My baby.
All right,
Who else is here?
Aaron, come on out.
Come out.
Hands up.
I saw you tucked in the room. Get out here.
Come out.
Get out here.
Come out.
Get out here.
My baby.
Okay, you're
Get out here.
okay.
Go.
My baby.
Show me your head. Show me your butt.
Get out.
It's okay. You're okay?
This is my granddaughter.
Stay here. Aaron. Rob, was that you?
Rob's out.
Was that blue shoe in? No, to the left.
Right here.
It's the front room. It's right around here. It's right around this wall. Yep. It's right around this wall.
Room opens to the right. We got blood on the floor to the right. Target shot from the right side of the room.
Marty, are you in the bathroom?
I'm in the front, at the front door, right here.
You're right there.
That's the room right there, yep.
Marty, get out of here when you can.
Oh, oh, oh!
Get out here! Get the fuck out of there!
Wow. So as you can see from various angles, that was a very tough video to watch. That first officer getting shot and ended up in the bathroom, nowhere to go. The others had to retreat from the front door. It was a tough situation. What do we have here first?
Let me give you. I give it to you. You got Dave, JT, D, and Derek, and then Jamel.
What a damn fool to endanger his family like that. Well, I mean, you're not getting away.
Right.
Okay? You're not just gonna just disappear like a ghost and say, well, we can't find them. You're not getting away, but you endanger your family like that, man. That's a coward fucking move, man. And a move that you're not winning. You know, I mean, come on, man. And then the lady saying, my baby, my baby. I mean, come on. You know what they're coming for? They clearly announced themselves real clear. I think the cops did an outstanding job, I tell you the truth. I thought it was no overkill of shooting. They were focused on that one room and him. But, you know, just to endanger your family, that man, I mean, come on, man. Come on. I'm done.
Yeah, Dave, you're right. Like you said, there was no overkill. You saw that, you know, they controlled, they tried to control the situation. They took cover. They didn't just start firing wildly and you know, taking a bunch of shots. You know, they tried to assess the situation and take it from there. Thank you. JT?
Yeah, I saw a couple of mistakes even before they gunshots start being fired. When you executing a search warrant, you don't stand in front of the damn door talking about you got a search warrant. That's the first place they're going to shoot is through that fucking door. Cops outside were standing in front of windows like they wanted to get shot. You don't know where the shots are coming from, but you're standing in front of a window. So if you want to play target, fine. There was too many gunshots fired in that house, just like Dave said, with family people in there. Girl kept saying, my baby, my baby. I'm not saying the cops shouldn't shoot, but you got to be a little bit more safe. It was just a bad situation. Did anybody get killed?
Don't know. I don't know, JT.
Okay.
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but JT, you're right. And a lot of people here know JT was in IU, so they did a lot of search warrants. And you're right. You stand to the side of the door. You don't stand in front of any windows. So you're 100% right there. You know, they should have been off to the side and not be in a position where they can get injured. D, you're up.
Yep.
This was a good depiction of kind of how search warrants go. A lot of people, we say search warrants, but they don't understand what they are. They're chaotic. They're chaotic. They're confusing. There's so many things going on at the same time. It's hard to keep apprised of where everybody is and what you're doing. As a supervisor and doing these search warrants, you got to kind of know where everybody is and what you're getting yourself into. From a supervisory standpoint, I blame the supervisor because you have to know you got to kind of look into the future, know what's going to happen. And if you don't know what's going to happen, you don't let anything happen. You hear what I'm saying? You don't let it go in like that. If I know there's kids in there, if I know there's women in there, if I know somebody has a firearm, but there's family members in there, I might not go. We might stay outside and see if we can get them outside. So it was a good video to show how chaotic things are. That first officer that got hit in the bathroom, that changes the game. This is not for people in the room. You guys know, once one of us get hit, it changes the game. I thought they were a lot more cautious than they should have been at that point. What happened before, I can talk different, but at that point, all bets are off. I know Dave said something about your family, and you're gonna think this is very callous of me. But once my guys get hit, I got to neutralize the threat. That's the first thing I got to do. Them sitting around in there for that longer period of time, and this guy still being able to throw shots without them getting now. Because think about what I'm saying. I'm not going to take too much longer. Think about what I'm saying. Once the shots are fired, my responsibility is not only to get that guy, but I got to get all these innocent people out of here. You see, but you see where I put myself into? That's why you don't get yourself into that, because now I got to put myself between the bullets and the people to get them out of there. And that's why I said it should be there's a cautionary thing you have to do before that. But just so you know, Dave, you said it great. Once the shots start, listen, it's a different situation. Don't have this expectation that now these people are going to take care of you, and they should. But once we get hit, it changes the game, is what I'm trying to say. It's a different situation. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, D. Very good observation. Derek, you're up.
Yeah, this video kind of crystallizes for the people out there that haven't done this type of work, how dangerous the job is. And I know often we're in a position where we watch the videos and we're very critical of how the officers handle things. It is an inherently dangerous job. And though it's not danger filled on a daily basis, anything can happen at any time. And particularly if you work in a unit where you're enforcing warrants. I think the officers did a pretty good job. Obviously, tactically, a couple of things were a little unsound, little minor things like officers having their guns out behind other officers and things like that. But you're in a position where you have to enter a residence. You don't know how many people are there. You don't know the layout of the place, and you still have to go in and you have to handle business. And I think overall they did a good job. And even with them doing things right, someone still got hurt. One of the officers still got hurt. So nothing done wrong by the police. And for the people that are out there, and I know that we don't have the criminal element watching us, and this isn't why I'm saying it, but lock the doors to your house. It would have been better for everyone involved if the guy had to answer the door instead of the officers being able to walk right in. And this goes back to my training as a child. If we walked in the house and didn't lock the door behind us, my father was pissed off. Lock the door, lock your doors. I don't care if you plan on going back out. You walk in the house, just lock your door, and that'll take away the ability for someone to just walk in. And that's all I have.
That's great, Derek. You said something important there about the layout. We don't know the layout of these homes when you go into a house like that. You don't know what they're going to barricade at, or if there's other rooms where they're in, or if there's other ways they can get out. So you're right. The layout is different in every home. They're not all the same. I believe Jamal is up, and then Rich.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Cheech. Derek, he spoke a lot about what I wanted to speak on, and so I just want to reemphasize the fact that for the people that are out there, watching us today, listen, police work is never easy. Police work is sometimes it can't be calculated, and that video was a great video to show our viewers and listeners that day in and day out, we find ourselves in situations where we want to try to dictate how things are going to play out, but then again there's that unknown element, and that's exactly what happened inside this apartment. They go in there to execute a search warrant, and then of course, an arrest warrant, and then of course, everything just went awry, and it's unfortunate that this guy that they were looking to apprehend, he kind of like use his family, to assist, I guess, in his attempt to evade or escape police, which was stupid and deadly, and of course. Families don't know that. Yeah, you may have your grandchildren there, your young children there, but once rounds let go and police are there to try to execute a lawful arrest warrant, listen, they have to protect themselves. That's why I keep emphasizing how dangerous police work is. We go to work wanting and knowing that we want to go home that day, but of course, that video just showed you how deadly police work can be. And those officers did a great job in that video. You know, I hope no one really got seriously injured, but believe me, guys, police work is deadly. It's dangerous. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And yeah, you know, it goes to show that no matter how much planning you do and you prepare for this, things can change in a split second. You know, things can get crazy right away, and this was a great example of that. Rich.
Yeah, good afternoon. You know, obviously it seems like to me these guys got together to enact a search warrant. Do we know exactly what kind of search warrant it was? Does anybody know?
Do you know?
No.
Okay. So just the guy standing in the fatal funnel, knocking on the door and knocking notice 3 times, that's not a norm. You know, normally you give the knocking notice and boom, it's dynamic entry into a place when you have a search warrant, because if you're searching for drugs, you don't want the drugs being destroyed. So it's going to be dynamic and boom, you're in. This kind of went slow going in, knocking notice 3 times. That wasn't really necessary. I think the guys did a great job, but just on the fly. But I don't think this was a dedicated search warrant group that they trained together. Just a certain amount of officers said, "Hey, we're going to do the search warrant. Get ready, put your gear on, and let's go in and be safe." And so, based on it just being that, I think those guys did a good job. But you know, it's all on the occupants, as we said. The occupants to make that search warrant safe for themselves or not. And basically, once you start shooting at cops, then game over. You know, anybody could get hit. But you know, I don't know the outcome of this, how it worked out. Looks like the suspect was shot, maybe taken into custody. But overall, good job. I like to see a couple of things where I could tell this wasn't a dedicated team. So, you know, they did the best they could with the situation. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you guys. This definitely could have been a real a worse situation, and it appears that nobody was seriously injured. It appears that nobody lost their life. So I'm glad that everything turned out better, and it wasn't a more a serious situation. I see nobody has their hand up.
Mine is
So
up. Mine is up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
It's a black hand, Cheech.
Okay.
It's a black hand. No, no, I was just gonna say, I'm like Jerry. I heard my child, then I heard him say my grandchild. I'm like, man, you don't want to put the whole family into this mess. You know, so all you have to do, I mean, the rest of the family may not have known what the search warrant was for and what was going on. But I'm sure he knew what was going on. You know, so he shouldn't have put the family in that kind of situation, because he wasn't seen. He was gone. You know, he was hiding. You know, so I think he was I think that was a coward move to put your whole family in that kind of danger with armed police officers that just busted into your house. Well, they ain't busted into it because they walked in. Like Derek said, the door was unlocked. They just they just came on in. But it's just terrible. But I felt for that child that was in there screaming, because there were shots being fired. Now, I don't know who fired off the first shot, but I just know shots were fired, and that would have been enough for me. That's it for me, Cheech.
All right, thank you, Donald. We have nothing else. Oh, before we move on, I just wanted to welcome the Reverend Larry Kemp. I see he's on with us. We haven't seen him in a minute. Thank you.
We still don't see him.
Reverend.
We still don't see him.
Yeah, but see his name. Reverend Kemp, welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to see you
we
all.
don't have it. Thank you. We don't have anything else on this. D, can you take us to the next video?
All right, our next video is going to take us to Columbus, Ohio. We often get questions about, the training of officers, and this channel is big on, going over the whole police process from beginning to end. After you get out of an academy, you're what's called the probationary officer. Technically, when you're in the academy, you're still on probation, but you can still really easily lose your job up to a year and a half after you leave. This is taking us to Columbus, Ohio. Let's take a look.
Breaking news from NBC4.
A probationary officer with the Columbus Division of Police has been fired after police say she was involved in a fight at a Short North bar. The now former officer's name is Amber Blackburn. According to her personnel file, she was with the division for nearly 2 years. NBC4 crime and safety reporter Anna Hoffman is here with more details on this. Anna?
Jared, in the termination letter from now former probationary officer Amber Blackburn, it says she was seen in surveillance video assaulting 3 separate people. The records say this incident happened around 1:50 a.m. Sunday at the Town Hall bar in the Short North. Blackburn was off duty at the time of the incident, but according to officers who were working special duty at the bar, they were approached by a manager and asked to remove a woman from the bar for inappropriate conduct. The officer said they walked into the bar and saw Blackburn actively fighting with another woman and learned that she was the person that manager was talking about. The special duty officers described her behavior as erratic, belligerent, and highly intoxicated. The records say the officers asked Blackburn and another man to leave. They say the man left without incident, but Blackburn refused and had to be escorted out. The statements say she was throwing punches while she was being escorted out. The records say surveillance video shows Blackburn assaulting 3 separate people. Apparently, 2 of those assaults happened while she was being restrained and taken out of the bar. The request for Blackburn's termination was sent to the chief the next day after the incident. Her officer probationary period was set to end next month. I received a statement from the Division of Police which reads in part, anyone who violates their oath will be held accountable. Jared.
All right, Anna, thank you for that. Of course, going to
Welcome, CJ. All right. I see a couple of hands up. I'm not sure what order they went up in.
You got Dave, and then you got Jamal and myself.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll be real brief. Good. Fire her ass. Okay. She in there acting like that damn like she's a damn cowboy movie. Lick it up and everything. Know damn well she's on probation. And all of us on here got that speech. Don't be in no bars getting a lick sloppy drunk and causing the scene because your ass is out of here. Right. Okay? We all got that. All right? I mean, come on. And then she's out there swinging and fighting. Her ass should have been locked up.
Right. I was going to ask that.
She should have been locked up with a foot in her ass, sideways.
Doesn't feel good.
I'm done.
Dave, thank you for your colorful
women get a foot in their ass too. I'm sorry. This ain't no, oh, she's a woman. No. Act like an asshole and you get a foot in the ass. Game over.
All right. Thank you, Jamal.
Yes. You know, one month to go before she would have been off probation, and she could not see that to the end to become a full-fledged police officer. You know, listen, it's just so unfortunate that you know, you let that firewater get into your system and took over you, and you in the bar acting out, you know, not knowing how to hold your liquor, and that cost you your career. You know, you listen, the male that she came there with, he had the smarts enough to leave without any provocation with the police, but unfortunately, she was so consumed with alcohol. You know, her judgment was skewed, and unfortunately now she done lost her job, lost her career, and I mean, I would imagine she even lost all her dignity. That's all, guys.
It's that firewater. You don't know how to handle it? Don't do it. But do it at home, in the privacy of your own home. You know, D, you're up.
So during your probationary period, both on and off duty, you're highly responsible for your activity, your behavior, especially when you're going on the police department. They can pretty much you can be fired for anything. The littlest things they can kick you off. I see some of the comments, and I just want to address them generally. Once you're after that period, it becomes a civil service situation, right? Everybody wants rights. You got to go through all these hoops to fire me. That's why you see it on, they're able to get fired and drawn and quartered in this year and a half. But after that year and a half, it's another situation. It's like almost opening up another book as to what you can and cannot do. So I just wanted to make that clear. One other thing, they had special duty officers in there. I just wanted to explain what that meant. Sometimes police officers may be working and then have a after work detail, which like this restaurant might hire actual police officers. And I wanted to say that because she's actually in there fighting cops. She's a brand new cop fighting cops. As far as I'm concerned, you know me, all bets are off. She got to go. She got to go. Dave, you were absolutely right. She should have took a L. I don't condone hitting anyone. Definitely don't condone hitting women. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for your behavior. And if you decide to act that way, then you have to take the consequences. My problem is most people want to act that way and they don't want to take the consequences. Police officers or not, you are responsible for your behavior. So you're going to take those consequences. And I didn't do a deep dive into this to see just if she had gotten hurt, if it was a fight. I know they dragged her out of there. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. So that's all I wanted to say.
You're muted, Cheech.
Thank you. Before we get to, we move on to JT, I think JT, Derek, and Donald. Just wanted to acknowledge some of the people that are watching us live. We have Beverly Wells with us, with Donald Coleman, Sylvia Butler, Eva, as always, Renee Henderson. Thank you. And also Karen Caffey, and she just said something there. She said, interesting that she gets fired justly, in parentheses, but the cops who have terrible files get moved from department to department. Yeah, we do see that a lot. But as Dee said, on probation, yes, you go right away. They don't need an excuse. But then after that, you're protected a little bit more. You know, your union comes into play. And this is the reason that we have these other issues going on. But we'll move on. I'm not sure of the order, but I'm going to go with JT.
My question is, how long was her probation? Was it 2 years?
That's what they said.
Yeah, she had a month left. So whatever the academy is, you're on probation, and then a year and a half after, it looks like.
Right. Yeah, they during the video that we saw, they said she had 2 years on. So it was like 2 years and 1 month. She had to do probation.
Which is shorter than ours in NYPD. Because ours was wasn't it 3 years?
No, it was 18 months after the academy. The medical probation was 3 years.
Okay. All right.
So it was 2 years.
2 years.
Total. And then 3 years.
My question is to Cheryl and somebody that can remember better than me. I can't remember yesterday. How long was our probation?
A year.
1 year.
1 year, okay.
1 year. You did the 6 months in the academy and then 6 months on the street.
Right, okay.
Was it a year after the academy or a year?
No, a year,
including?
6 months in and 6 months after.
Okay.
Yeah, I did 1 year, because I didn't go through the academy for Nassau, so I just did 1 year probation.
Mm-hmm.
JT, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Derek, you're up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the community is really, really lucky, because if this lady is aggressive enough to fight officers that are on duty, well, that are working. So they're probably doing off-duty employment in the bar, but they're working, and she knows they're officers, and she's aggressive enough and drinking enough to fight them. Fortunately, she was on probation because it would be easy to get rid of her. But if she had surpassed that other month, then the union would have gotten involved, and she would probably still be with the department. And that's the type of person that would be terrorizing the community. She's willing to fight other officers. She's willing to really do some damage out there to normal citizens that don't have any power. So fortunately, she was still on probation. I'm glad she acted that way. And during that time, and it didn't happen more than a month later. That's all.
Damn good point. Damn good point, D. Damn good point.
You got CJ trying to sneak in there.
Yes, I am, and I'm sorry. I'll wait my turn. I just want him to know that I'm on deck.
Okay.
After Mark.
Yeah, you
Mark.
got Don, Mark, and CJ.
No,
Don, you
actually take mine down because Cheech got mine with Karen Caffey. I was just going to address her question. That's all.
Gotcha.
Her statement.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to add is the only difference also would be if it was a right to work state. If it was a right to work state, then even after the probationary period, a person could be let go. You wouldn't have to go through all that union stuff if it's a right to work state. We've talked, I know, but we've talked about that before, and it's not always a union issue if it's a right to work state. They can just let you go.
Yeah, and that comes into play, but even with police departments, you'll have the FOP get involved if it's a right to work state. And, it still gets hairy because attorneys will get involved. But, her community, that community's lucky because she would have been a mess later.
Yeah. Thank you for that information. CJ.
I thought she was a correction officer and not police officer.
No, it's a police officer.
She was a police officer? Okay, well, let me just tell you all the special. Columbus, Ohio is my home. So when I go home, I know a couple of the guys. My brother-in-law used to be the chief of police there, James Jackson. But in the meantime, when those guys work special detail outside of doing a tour at work, they are uniformed up. So there's no reason for her not even to recognize that she was fighting a cop because they were full uniform. So she was really arrogant if she's, coming out swinging on a uniformed officer. That's my point.
She was drunk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I don't care what y'all say. They used to talk smack about me not drinking, but I thank God I ain't never been no alcoholic drinking. I've just seen some things that the people don't know who they are or where they are. I'm like, "Ooh, thank God I bypassed that alcohol."
Do you drink now?
No, I never did. Donald Butler and I are the two cops on the job that I know for certain don't drink.
I thought you drank because you sprayed me in the damn eyes, damn near blinded me. So I knew you was drinking something.
You still talking about that?
Damn right, because I'm walking around feeling for walls. I'm feeling for my place in the kitchen. Where am I?
Mark, you got your hand up again?
Yeah,
It was up.
I just wanted to ask Cheryl. Cheryl, is that something different in Ohio? You said your cousin was chief of police. What's police?
Police. He was the chief of. He was actually my stepsister's husband.
Yeah, but who's the police?
He's making fun of you, CJ.
Police. I know Mark. You know what? I'm not messing with Mark because I know he has to. He's not happy unless he clowning. So I'm gonna let him clown. But this time he's gonna do it by himself.
CJ, I got the power to mute him today.
Go ahead, Cheech. But hey, Mark, your beef's police.
Well, we're moving along pretty good today, getting to some of these videos. So I think we're going to move on.
It must be the person that's leading the discussion that got us going.
I'm telling you. I believe the next video is going to take us to Maryland, D.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is another raid search warrant, but with a different situation that goes on, and you'll see in the video.
The ATF rolled up on their house, guns drawn, and tossing flashbangs into the home. Months later, the family still hasn't been told why, and the family is only talking to I-Team investigative reporter Scott Taylor.
Yeah, Scott, this is really bizarre. It's a scene straight out of a movie. Early in the morning, dozens of armed federal agents and police officers raiding Mark Manley's home. Manley has a large presence on social media. He promotes community, self-defense, and he collects a lot of guns. Watch as ATF agents surround Mark Manley's home in the heart of Baltimore, Maryland at 5 in the morning last November. Dozens of heavily armed federal agents and local law enforcement at the front door. The first of 2 flashbang explosive devices deployed into the living room.
Police with a warrant, come to the door. Your hands, come on to the door.
Manley's wife, getting ready for work, screamed so loud it woke up their 13-year-old daughter.
It was a big scream. It definitely shook me up. God woke me up.
Agents order everyone out of the house.
I'm walking out, make sure the officers see that I am unarmed and not a threat.
Manley's 17-year-old daughter hears another explosion.
I heard another flashbang, and I said, at the time I did not know what a flashbang was, so I said, is that a bomb?
The first flashbang leaves a mark on the floor.
Pointing guns at my children could have went real bad, real fast.
Manley, his wife, and their 2 daughters now outside in handcuffs, but for half an hour, Manley doesn't know what happened to his 15-year-old son.
It was, traumatizing. It was like waking up to a bad dream.
ATF agents break down the outside glass door in the basement leading to the teen's bedroom.
10 to 12 officers pointed semi-automatic rifles at my son, demanding him to show his hands.
They were threatening me, threatening to shoot. I honestly felt like I could get shot or I could die at any moment.
Why do you think they hit your house? Why do you think they targeted you? Do you have any idea right now?
I mean, I am a black man in America that is heavily armed, that educates the community on firearms.
The search warrant lists a federal court section that cites potential criminal violations that include engaging in the business of firearms without a license. He does have a firearms license in Maryland and has a license to purchase firearms. Manley doesn't have a violent arrest record or any weapons violations.
I work full-time at a high school. I'm an intervention specialist. I teach de-escalation and conflict resolution.
He does charity work in Baltimore. He's an outspoken community advocate and has a large presence on digital platforms. More than 200 videos and over 309,000 people subscribe to Mark Chapa TV, his own YouTube channel.
It means everything, community. We spreading unity, we spreading education through our community and just bringing everybody together, that's all.
He's also a gun collector, and he doesn't hide it. The ATF search warrant shows that investigators only seized Manley's cell phone. They didn't take any weapons.
I just felt very confused, scared, and it messed with my anxiety.
The ATF tells 7 News its investigation is ongoing. No charges have been filed against Manley.
They could have caught me while I was outside going to my truck. They could have caught me running errands. They could have caught me at work, working at a high school. They could have caught me while I was driving and pulled me over. There's so many ways that this could have been handled without traumatizing my children.
Wow. If criminal charges are handed down, I'll let you know. And if or when the feds start talking to me, I'll tell you why the ATF targeted
this family. For the I-Team, Scott Taylor, 7 News.
Wow. And no charges. He took his iPhone. That's it. That's Don, we know what's the order of hands?
Dave and then
Dave,
myself
Dave
and then
D.
Derek.
Yep, Dave, D, and Derek.
All right. Dave, you
Yeah.
got the floor.
I'll tell you right now, somebody in the ATF got a shitty ass informant.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
I'll tell you right now, and that man, ain't God good? You see how his family came out in single file with their hands up, him behind them? I mean, those cops could have been trigger happy, but they got a shitty informant and they don't want to give him up. You know what I mean? He got some bad information. You don't take all of those guns? No, because he's licensed. You ran his information. You did your homework before you hit the house. So you know he's gone about his license and all that shit. Somebody got a shitty informant that he was doing some other bullshit and it's a lie. Yep. Or some asshole. I mean, they ran his address. They ran his information. They ran his life. They ran his family, his kids through real time. They ran everybody. His uncle Otis down in South Carolina. Everybody's run. We did that. Come on. But they got a shitty informant who's out there probably doing dirt in Baltimore, just trying to give up shit to get paid. Shitty informant, man. You could have cost that man's kid, his 50-year-old son, his life.
Boy.
Okay, and then if God forbid the cop would have went down there and maybe took the kid's life, he'd have been fucked for life too. On a shitty informant. That's why they used to beg me to get informants. I said, I'm not using them, man. Because when I'm home, sleeping at home with my dad, watching my dad and my mom sick, and then my oldest son coming over as a baby, I don't know what that guy is doing at night. And I'm not using him. I refuse. I'd rather give a kid $5 to get ice cream. Yo, what apartment is Leroy in? Oh, 5A. Okay, see you later. Get out of here. I'd rather do that than use any informant not knowing what he's doing when I'm going home. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead. I'm done. I don't want to keep it out. We keep it moving.
You're right,
fluid.
Dave.
Yeah.
You're right. And he said it himself, man. This could have been a lot worse. You know, his kids could have been injured. His kids are traumatized, so they are injured because those kids are traumatized. D.
Dave said it best. In doing these search warrants, so you understand, these search warrants have to be signed off by a judge, which means somebody's in trouble because you have to swear. I don't know if everybody, some of our laymen watching, when you put your hand up and swear, you get in a lot of trouble if the information that you give didn't go right. Now, Dave said it, those of us that have worked with informants, that's going to be a problem. When you deal with informants, you've got to know your informants, and you've got to verify, and you've got to check. And apparently, something went unchecked. Let me say this: they said he was heavy on social media. He's a gun collector. He's licensed to have all these things, and he's very popular on the internet. A lot of times when that happens, so just for layman's understanding, there are other people out there that don't like that. There are other people out there that see you doing your thing, and we talked about swatting, I think, last year. Anybody can call and make a report. It's unfortunate that this gentleman and his children got caught up in this. I'm glad nobody got hurt. That's the good news for me. But this shouldn't happen if you're a law-abiding citizen and in your own home. I wanted to talk about the flashbang. Because we come up with these terms, and I try to pick out the terms, and people might say, "What the heck is that?" Flashbang is a device that goes in and it makes a loud noise. It allows your senses to be interrupted for about 5 to 10 seconds to give the police the upper hand in order to handcuff you or bring you under control. So it's extremely loud, And why it might be confusing is what those people were saying is their senses were, they don't know what was going on. That bang goes, oh, you might hear ringing in your ears. Those of us that have heard it go off. With the state police, if you use something, it has to be used on you first. The only thing they run short of is bullets, and they found a way to do that with simunition. So that's how I know it. You can't hear anything for, they say 5 to 10. I say it's actually a little longer because then your ears are ringing. So that's why sometimes you get some of the confusion of not only the people that are involved, but the cops too, because you might be too close. Your earplugs might not be in all the way, and you're going to be affected by it. But I just wanted to speak about what that was because they did speak about it. I'm done.
Thank you, D. Derek.
Yes, I want to go in a different direction with this. They said possible gun sales or violations. Possible. That means they had no evidence. If a black man in America wants to use the same rights as a white man, the rights that were designed for the white man and not the black man, there's a strong possibility he can get treated differently. And that's what we saw here. They did not have any evidence. They said possible gun sales or violations. Possible. That is not a reason to get a warrant and bust into somebody's house and threaten their family. Also, they didn't take any guns. They took a cell phone.
A cell phone.
They're looking for evidence. They want his phone to look for evidence of what he may be doing. It's clear that if he were a white man, this would not have happened. But if a black man wants to use the rights that were designed for a white person, there may be problems. And that's what we watched. That's it.
Derek, I think you hit it on the head. Because they said, that possible. So right. if you were investigating him and you thought that what he was doing, you would have set up a cell ahead of time and gotten it and gotten that evidence.
Also, Kyle works in the law system, or worked in the law system. She's now retired, but Kyle, do you know of any judge that would have issued a warrant for possible gun sales or violations?
Yeah, no, I mean, when you said possible, I mean, that's why I hung my head, because it's just ridiculous. And you're right, they didn't have any evidence. They should have had a controlled, buy, and then, and it has to be fresh. It can't be stale, and it's so ridiculous. I don't even know how they got the warrant in the first place, because it's so thin and just non-existent, really. There isn't any evidence there. So.
Hey, Kyle and Derek, Baltimore PD, which they didn't use, Baltimore PD has a hell of a damn gun unit, gun squad. They could have used those guys for the buy, but they didn't. It
was a fishing expedition. They were fishing.
Yes.
That's all they were doing.
And fear because of the color of his skin. Because how many other gun owners are there, gun collectors, that have tons of weapons and they don't hide it? And their homes are not getting hit. They're not getting raided.
Yeah, especially the Proud Boys. Proud Boys take their shit to DC and walk away with it. Shit.
Yeah. They can walk on a bridge with weapons out and nothing's done.
This man has such a strong social media presence
that's it.
They really, they had to know what he was about, what he was doing. I mean, as you said, he wasn't trying to hide anything, and this man's going to have a hell of a lawsuit against the city for all of this unless they figure out somehow.
It's the ATF. So the ATF, you think, would do their homework and due diligence. This wasn't a local small department. This is the ATF.
Okay, right.
Well, they might not have listened to Baltimore PD also, Cheech. Baltimore PD probably knew this man.
Right.
With his social media presence, they might not listen to him. Those ATF agents ain't from Baltimore.
Yeah, because Baltimore could have said,
Kentucky,
He's never gotten into trouble. He doesn't have any history. We've never had
They
any
might
issues
not
with him.
listen to them. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
JT, you're up.
Everybody said everything I was going to say. He explained the effects of a flashbang. It actually has more effect against a younger person, maybe 6 or 7 years old, than an adult. But when are you an adult? Derek said the same thing. Kyle, I would like to see the judge that signed it, because what they said was possible. If I went to my boss and said, hey, there's possible drug dealing going in here, we're going to go get a warrant. You know, possible? You don't have a buy from them? And what supervisor would say, yeah, we're going to hit this house, probably a lot of guns in here. We're going to throw a flashbang in first, and we're going to go rushing in. I don't know who thought of that. But
the supervisor.
Supervisor. I mean, he said, let's go get a warrant. Right? When he got the warrant, he said, let's do this tonight at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. You know what most people are doing at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Still sleeping.
And you know what a flashbang do? If a flashbang came into my house 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd probably on myself. But it's just, none of it made sense. None of it. None of it. And they knew the guy. They said they knew the guy. I mean, this guy's doing great work for the community. He's a black man, though, doing great work in the community. And probably for more blacks than anybody else. But it just don't fit my boat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's sad that in this day and age, we're still seeing things like this happening. With the technology that we have, the intelligence that we have, you know, and to see something like this unnecessary for it to happen. Like he said, they knew where he worked and the type of work that he does. Exactly. They could have gone to his job and say, hey, listen, you need to come to us. We need to sit down and talk about something, you know, and take it from there. Not, you know, okay, you know he has tons of guns. Why go to his home? He said, catch him on the outside where you can control him better. You know, instead of going into a home where you don't know the layout, where you don't know what's going to go on, and you know he has weapons in there already. You know, if you think he's a danger, then take him down somewhere else. You know.
One other thing, Chief. One misfire from a police officer, that could have been a bloody mess.
Oh.
Because you don't know who shot who or who the shot came from. But with one shot,
everybody starts shooting.
Everybody starts shooting, except the people in the house.
Yes. Oh God, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Don, any more hands up? Don?
Yeah, mine.
Don's hands up.
I see it. You're right. I see it now. It's that dark background in the corner.
I know. I was just gonna say that that was targeted because he was a black man. He had so much ammunition. He had a great following, a large following. It seemed like it was targeted.
Yeah.
Because he was black. This guy was an intervention person at what I think is at a school, working with de-escalation. I mean, this guy was positive in all aspects of life, and they come in there and walk out with a cell phone. With all these guns, that he's possibly selling without a license, they leave with a cell phone. That is disturbing to me. That's very, very disturbing to me. And I hope he sues, but it's the federal government he's going to be suing. Hope he sues and get paid for it though, just for the aggravation.
And this is how lopsided our country is. You have states down south where you can buy and sell guns and don't need a license. Right. Anybody can go into a store, buy a bunch of guns, and then turn around and sell them, and you don't even need a record of it.
Right.
You know, and this man's doing everything legitimately. You know, paperwork, has his license, has everything in order, and you're going to go after him.
They were mad because he was training them young kids on how to shoot. You seen them orange? They had the orange target guns in their hands. They were in his backyard. They were angry because he's teaching them how to shoot. Yeah. And they're in fear that somebody's going to be the end result of their lessons.
Yeah, this was more about putting him in his place, and if they would have been able to shoot him in the process, that would have been a bonus.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Maybe if he changed his group to Proud Brothers,
probably
it wouldn't bother him. I'm just saying.
Well, this is reminiscent of the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers are doing good things in the community. They would do things like this, hoping to just fish and hoping to catch them doing something illegal, doing the wrong thing, and just a fishing expedition. That's what they did to Black Panthers when they were doing good stuff in the community. I'm not saying everything they did was good. I'm just saying there was times when the Black Panthers were just, doing the kind of stuff he was doing, so.
Well, that was specifically Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton was the person who gathered all of these folks from different parts of the country, whether they were Indians or poor whites and everything else. And plus they had that food program and breakfast program and school program. And they went into Fred Hampton's house, shot him in front of his pregnant wife and all of his children.
Wow.
So this situation that I saw reminded me eerily of Fred Hampton without casualties, thank God.
Wow.
Fred Hampton was only like 23, 24 years of age.
Wow.
And,
Thank you for that.
And to your point, Rich, the Panthers, when you said some of the stuff was not all good, but the Panthers never did anything bad. Never did anything bad. Anything. Other than march with rifles around, that's it. They were never threatening or anything like that.
Unless you let someone else tell our story, Camp. You know what I'm saying? If they tell our story, then they were hoodlums. They were thugs.
Yeah.
If you listen to our president today, all of us are thugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The interesting thing about the Panthers is that all of them were college graduates. Every last one of them were college graduates.
Hey, Camp, well, some of them professors too later on in life, right?
Some of them were professors. Some of them were professors. Many of them were PhDs.
Yeah.
And they came from middle-class homes.
Yeah.
75% of them came from middle-class homes. They did not come from poor homes.
Well,
thank you for that.
What's the threat there? The threat is intellectual power.
From the wrong skin color.
Yeah.
There you go. I have to run to my front door right quick. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Take your camera.
We're timing you.
Talk through the door.
Yeah, I hope it's locked.
I don't see any other hands up, so we're gonna transition into our next video. And a while back, I believe we went through this video of a gentleman that unfortunately was shot 96 times over a seatbelt violation. And shot at. Yeah. And a settlement has been reached on that. Go ahead, D.
Yep.
Hold this one down. Roll that one down too. Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up. Okay. Do not roll the window up. Unlock the doors now. Unlock the doors now. Unlock the doors now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Open the door now. 64 David, shots fired, shots fired. Hey! Hey! Shots fired. Ferdinand Avers, 10-1, 10-1. Shot fired. Hey!
them. You got holes in them. Shit, what the fuck is this?
We need ambulance officers hit. We need ambulance officers hit.
Stand by 1 second.
I don't believe that shit.
You, JT.
The car
What happened to double tap reassess?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
They killed the car.
Y'all so stupid.
This is an update. Dexter Reed's family will now receive $1.2 million because the police were trigger happy, killed someone, and lied about it. Here's a reminder.
Chicago police are initiating a traffic stop on a driver reportedly for not wearing a seatbelt, according to the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. A traffic stop being conducted by 5 tactical officers.
Roll the window down. What are you doing? Roll this one down. Roll that one down too. Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up. Okay. Do not roll the window up. Do not.
For the traffic stop was that Mr. Reed was not wearing a seatbelt. But body cam footage shows that none of the officers were wearing seatbelts when they hopped out of their car with guns drawn. Then, when questioned how they could have seen a seatbelt violation through Reed's dark tinted windows, police then changed their narrative to claim they had pulled him over because his tint was too dark. The lawsuit filed by Reed's family states the real reason they stopped the young Mr. Reed was because of racial profiling. They were hoping to find something more serious than a seatbelt violation. And earlier this week, it was announced that the family will receive $1.25 million in a settlement. I'm going to give you the details about the fatal encounter. A group of Chicago cops driving an unmarked car in a residential community and dressed in plain clothes cut in front of another car driven by a black man named Dexter Reed last March, forcing him to stop before ordering him out at gunpoint and never identifying themselves as officers or informing him why he was being detained. Full stop on that. You're in Chicago. A group, multiple vehicles, a group of human beings jump out, plain clothes, with guns. They do not identify themselves as officers. They do not have anything on their persons to identify that they work for the government. What are you thinking? You would think what anyone else would think. It's a carjacking. Maybe something even more sinister. Police claim Reed was only 26 years of age, responded by firing a single shot, striking one of the cops in the wrist. But that is not clear in any of the multiple videos released by the Chicago Office of Police Accountability. What is clear is that the cops fired 96 shots within 41 seconds. That's clear. Striking him 13 times,
My God,
killing him after he stepped out of the car with both hands in the air, showing he was unarmed. The 5 cops involved in the traffic stop: Guillaume Papa, Thomas Spanos, Victor Pacheco, Gregory St. Louis, and Aubrey Webb were the subjects of numerous complaints from citizens in the months leading up to the shooting death of Reed. According to Block Club Chicago, in the 3 days leading up to the shooting, the same group of cops pulled over 50 cars without issuing a single citation, the Sun-Times reported. So what do you have?
All right, we can stop it there.
Ooh. 96 shots. What order we got done?
You got Dave, then D.
Dave, take it.
All right, listen, y'all. I'm horrified by that. But you know what? I'm going to also say I'm horrified at this young man for not just keeping his window down or doing what they had to say. Okay, and that window split up. You dealing with scared white cops in Chicago. Okay, there's no need for Doc to ham it up, saying you don't know who they are and all that. I understand. There's no need for him to ham it up. This young man is dead for no reason, for bullshit. But young people who are listening, man, don't roll your windows up. Okay, you're not mind readers. They might not like you any damn way. They're looking to pop you in the ass. Please don't do this shit. Okay, if you're clean, you're clean. You're good. We see you. Then we're on that camera, and your lawyer's gonna subpoena that goddamn video. But that fucking 96 shot shit. Okay, then they said, well, one of their cops might have got shot. Yeah, you got shot by one of your own damn cops of different angles, popping rounds at a damn car, a truck. Okay, you ain't got no damn gun there with that man's DNA or prints on it. Period. Now, another thing is, what do they do in LA when they chasing guys and they get them stopped? They get on the damn intercom system. Step out, put your hands on top of it, surround the car. He can't go nowhere. Then pull him out that way. Negotiate with him. Where you going? And then I find out that none of these cops, these crazy ass car stops, not one summons was given. Man, they out there like sharks, man, hunting. And violating rights and kicking people, tossing people's ass out. Okay, he got nothing, send him on. But I'm telling you, young people, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't play lawyer in a car where you're surrounded by guns.
Yeah.
Live to tell a story. We need to hear your story, but we want you to tell it to us live, not in some damn article. Okay, I'm done, fellas. Ladies, I'm done.
Thanks, Dave. Before I go to you, D, I just want to read real quick what Will Quick says. It says, sounds like some sort of enforcement team conducting pretextual stops. One interesting point, if they couldn't see in the car for the seatbelt, they wouldn't be able to see to determine race. Very good point, Will. D, Ed.
This comes under the category of do your job. We're seeing it more and more often that people aren't doing their job, so these things are happening. If you're out there doing your job, there are so many checks and balances that these things can happen. That's a street detail. I've been on a part of them. But when you're making car stops, there's a certain way to do it, and what I saw in that video wasn't it. I apologize for cutting up the video, but I wanted you to actually see the shooting live before the contextual part and people stopping it. There's a way to do that, and you got to do your job. And as always, you can see where people aren't doing their jobs, and we go down this slippery slope. I'm glad we did this video because I just want to do this quickly. For all our young people watching, for all the old people watching and watch the law shows, you know Kyle, so you know all the laws and you know everything and you know your rights. The idea is to get home at the end of the night. I know you don't want to be put upon. The idea is to get home at the end of the night. More and more often, we're going to be confronted with police officers that aren't doing their job, or they're doing their job not the way they're supposed to. Your idea is to get home at the end of the night. You can be right and be dead. They can have a march down Fifth Avenue and close all the stores. Black Lives Matter. But if you're dead, then no lives matter, right? The idea is to get home at the end of the night. That's it. At the end of the day, these philosophical conversations are great, but I want my babies getting home at the end of the night. We'll go down and we'll talk about it later. 96 shots, ridiculous. I've been on the range and I was trying to do the count, and when we shoot for training, I've never heard 96 shots go off in 41 seconds.
41
I mean, you guys
seconds.
help me. Unless you got 43 guys on the line, that's just not going to happen. Outrageous. It's a shame this kid lost his life, but that's the idea. Forget all the conversations. Come home tonight, right? Stop all the conversation. Whatever they ask you to do, you do. They can get down and mess up your suit, down, face down. Go ahead, get face down. I need you home at the end of the night so we can have this conversation and start holding people accountable. I'm done.
Thank you, D. And I think we go through this every week. We remind the public, live to see another day. Just do what you're told. If it's a ticket, even if you think it's wrong, fight it in court. We all here tell our kids what to do and how to do it. Just listen to the officer's orders, do what they're telling you, make sure your hands are visible, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. Derek, you were next, but I just saw that Jerry has her hand up, so I'm going to go to Jerry real quick. Hey, Jerry.
Hi, I just have a question because I walked away for a few moments, but didn't they also state that at no point in time did they identify themselves as police officers? Therefore, I understand what you guys are saying. In all honesty, when police, you do is your hands up and do. But this whole thing was based on the fact that they jumped out and did their thing and never they weren't in a marked car, had no police identification on anything, and they jumped out with guns at this dude. Am I wrong? Isn't that what they said?
That's it. That was the report. Yep.
I understand why he kept rolling the window up. I got it.
Derek. Thank you, Jerry.
Unmute, Derek. Derek, unmute. Uh-oh. Unmute.
Unmute yourself.
Let me ask him to unmute.
Yeah, in the video, you can actually see a gun pointed at his window as he's rolling the window back up. And I think one of the people that are on Facebook Live said, if you can't tell whether or not he's wearing a seatbelt, you can't tell what his race is. But if you're in front of someone, even if their windows are tinted, in your rearview mirror, you can tell what their race is. If you can't see it when you actually stop, as soon as you jump out of the car and start to approach from the front of his vehicle, you can tell what his race is.
That's true.
And often that determines how a person gets approached. I mean, and not just in terms of race, but in terms of maturity or age. You obviously aren't going to approach an 80-year-old man, or at least you shouldn't, as aggressively as you're going to approach an 18-year-old. So certain things are determining factors. And when you're coming from the front of a vehicle, if the windows are tinted on the side, you can still see the person from the front. And if you're moving quickly, you may not be able to tell whether or not they have a seatbelt on, but you'll be able to tell whether they're black or white. Also, one of the things that struck me in the video was you could actually hear the officers' hands getting tired. They started shooting slower as time went on. Their hands were getting tired. And you shouldn't shoot at a person so much that your hand fatigues. And it's nonsense. I mean, these cops are stormtrooping, literally stormtrooping through minority neighborhoods, doing whatever the hell they want to do with impunity. And a $1.3 million settlement is nonsense for a young man's life. It's nonsense.
Oh, it is.
That's all I have.
It is. Thank you, Derek.
It should have been $1 million a shot.
Right.
That would have made a statement.
Yeah.
Definitely, Dave.
And
Will Quick says,
even when that happens, it's still on the taxpayers because the officers aren't paying it. It's still on the taxpayers. So the people in the community are still footing the bill.
Yeah. Real quick on the chat, Will Quick says that many stops with no citations is a huge red flag. That is true. He also says, but we are seeing too many instances where doing it the right way still results in the death by cops.
Now,
Unfortunately.
Will is also I think retired law enforcement. So we may try to get him on over here and join us one day.
All right.
If Cheryl says it's all right.
Come on, Will.
Must be a backstory, huh?
But wait,
Well,
no. Stop saying squid. You sound like Mark now.
Hey,
all right.
to each their own.
All right.
I got JT up and then Mark.
There was a few things said that he could have thought that there were gang members maybe to steal his car. Give him the fucking car. Give him the registration. Give him gas money. What the fuck? That makes sense to anybody. I don't give a fuck who it was. I don't care if they were cops or weren't cops. They come to my car with guns and drugs. Hey, I'm out. See y'all in the morning. Hey, I mean, why? I can't understand why they make these things up that this is what he thought. He's dead. He ain't think nothing. And 96 shots? Come on. What do they do? Only charge the cops that hit him with the 13? Everybody else gets a free ride? And just like Derek said, 1.3 million? I think my life is worth a little bit more than that.
I want to know who that family lawyer was so I could kick him in his ass.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of them looking to get their mooching asses on the family whose child died, and they wanted to get them to hurry up and settle so they can get their cut. That's bullshit. They did that with the Amadou Diallo guy up in the Bronx. 41 times. His mother only got $2 million, $3 million.
And I bet you that's gone.
Yeah, it's gone because she had to pay everybody else off.
I just said earlier that the young lady, Sonia Massey,
There's 10 million for her.
she got 10 million. Yes.
Her family
it's
got
still
10 million.
still
Yep.
unfortunate. No one, no money can replace the loss of a loved one, but yet and still the settlement was somewhat was justified though.
Thank you. I got Mark up next.
You had CJ with a hand too.
It's okay because I wanted to make mention of Sonia Massey's family getting $10 million. So Jamal jumped in.
Thank you, guys. Go ahead, Mark.
So, between Dave and JT, I think they said it best. What is the purpose of rolling that window up? Whether you thought they were cops, whether you thought they were carjackers, what is a piece of glass going to do? You see a gun. It's just the wrong thing to do. And the announcer, the guy on the thing, I listen to him all the time, but Dave's right. He hammed it up. They didn't have their seatbelts on, and they just ran up and didn't identify themselves. Listen, like JT said, even if they were carjackers, get out the car. It's not worth it. But let's face it, 9 out of 10, he knew they were cops, and he's looking right at the lady, and he's rolling the window up.
Exactly.
She's telling him, "Don't roll the window up," and you're still rolling the window up. There's issues and times when these officers aren't doing what they're supposed to do, but don't make it worse and add to it. And whether it's a white officer or a black officer, we're still just as vulnerable. You rolling that window up is showing that you're up to something. Okay, it's going to make someone who maybe wants to see your license, maybe wants to check the car, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but that's what their intent is. And then now you're going to make it worse and amplify it by rolling a window up and you got dark tints on. I don't care how old you are because somebody posted, he's 20. I don't care. Okay? You got to use common sense. And parents, talk to your kids. Just don't come on and listen to us and say, yeah, and shut it off. Afterwards, talk to your kids. Try to educate them. Don't make these mistakes because these mistakes lead to killing Okay, we don't want you to die. We don't want you to get hurt. So, you know, if you're old enough to drive a car, if you're old enough to roll that window up, there's going to be consequences to your actions. You may not like them.
Thank you, Mark. And that's a big point right there. We emphasize this every week. You know, tell your kids, just do what they're told. You know, follow the officer's orders. We give you a lot of advice on here as far as how to interact with officers, and I hope you guys talk about those things with your kids out there and with your family. It's 4:30.
Yep.
D, do you have a good guy video?
The boss is calling us out, so we'll let him close it out.
So if you do, we'll take it. If you do,
Okay.
you do,
Always do. I'll
right.
put it on.
Okay. I like him.
Danny Neves.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Danny. Let's see. You were charged with speeding on Huntington Avenue. You must have really been in a hurry.
I was really rushing, got out of work, had to sit there and go pick up my son at my mom's house. So
you were you're going to pick up your son?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were really the police officer that stopped you. Tell me the interaction between you and the police officer. I'm interested for a reason. So the police officer pulled you over, right?
Well, I was coming down Huntington. You know it's a hill, so even as you're hitting the brakes or anything, you still pick up speed. As I was going down the hill, he was posted on this side. See me, I guess I was
He pulled
speeding.
you over, right?
He pulls me over.
Followed you? He followed you?
Yeah, he came around, followed me. I
Put the
pulled right
lights
over.
on.
Once I seen the lights, I knew it was for me because I knew I was most likely speeding.
You pulled over, right?
Yep, he pulled me right over,
When he
right
came
around
to
the
the car,
curb.
what did he say to you?
He goes, you know why I pulled you over? I was like, yeah. He goes, what's the reason I was speeding? He goes, all right. So went to go check my driving record. It was like, he was going 10 miles over the speeding limit, so I have to give you the ticket.
Yeah. Now, this police officer wasn't your cousin. You wasn't related
No.
to him or anything, no? No. Inspector Quinn. Yes, sir. I thought he was going to say, Judge, I want to commend the Providence Police Department. This police officer was so kind and understanding and generous to me, and I'm very appreciative. I thought that's what he was going to say. He was doing 57 miles an hour, and the police officer cited him for doing 35. So I have a feeling that the conversation was a little more intense than what he's telling me.
Oh,
What
no,
do you
definitely
think?
not. Definitely not.
All right, you you have a think good. the officer probably just asked him, and he.
No, yeah, I was more than nice with the officer. I was more than nice with the officer. He
Yeah.
told me himself. He was like, you've been nice. You know, you're not giving me no type of anything. So I'll give you a break.
Exactly what you said, Judge. You left that part out. How come you left that part out?
Sometimes you can't say
I know exactly how fast you were going. That's why.
Nope.
What do you think, Inspector Quinn?
I think he was, honorable during the car stop, stated that, he committed the infraction. The officer used his discretion to allow to send him here instead of tribunal.
I think it speaks well of both you and the officer. Right. The fact of the matter is the officer came to the car.
Yeah.
You didn't give him an attitude.
No.
You didn't give him that shrug of the shoulders, like, with the chip on your shoulder.
I know I was wrong. And
So-
at the end of the day, when you're wrong, you got to accept your faults. That's it.
Well, you had to be very contrite, and the police officer, I'm going to give this kid a break. That's what happened. I just was curious whether or not you were going to acknowledge that, but you didn't. But anyway, anything you want to say to that police officer now?
Honestly, I want to tell him thank you.
Inspector Quinn, he doesn't waste many words.
No.
He's very...
Yeah, you know what? He's tough. When I was questioning him upstairs regarding a different crime, he wouldn't say anything. I'm only kidding.
All right, pursuant to the statute, the matter is dismissed on the good driving record. You're going to pay court cost.
That's fine.
Good luck.
Yeah, this guy is usually good when it comes down to that. I watch it a lot.
Yes.
With giving people breaks and stuff.
That inspector looked like Bobby from The Sopranos.
Before we run out of here, though, Mark has his hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say to our audience once again, you go into court, Don't wear a shirt that's got
Yeah.
you know, use your head, people. Don't go to court wearing something with a gun on it. Just he got lucky, but come on, use your head.
I definitely
Can
agree
he
with
wear
that.
one with weed on it?
I would say this, Mark, that a lot of our youth go into the court or different places not knowing how to dress for the occasion. You know, so I've seen that a lot. I mean, and I think times are changing where it's getting more acceptable too. You know, but I'm just old school. You know, you go to court, put on a shirt and tie. You know,
we can't do that.
No.
I just can't get over Bobby Bacala as the damn inspector. I mean, what was that, man? I mean, come on.
Don't be hating on him, Dave. Don't be hating.
All right, listen, thank you guys for joining us on Facebook Live. We really do appreciate you guys each and every week. Thank you for the guys on the panel. Thank you for joining us as well. And let me say this, Cheech, you did an awesome job. You did an awesome job. You kept us moving. So don't be surprised if you get thrown in the rotation again, because I really want to share this thing. I shouldn't be the only voice that you hear most of the time, mine and Dee's, because I think we're the most talkative on here. But you know, you guys have a lot to say. Every last one of you can actually lead this, and we want to use you to do that as well. Again, thank you to those on Facebook Live. Have a happy Valentine's Day to all of you women, all of the ladies. Have a happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy the day on tomorrow. Spend time with your loved ones. But just remember, that's not the only day you should be showing love. And love is also an action, not just saying some words, but love is also an action. All right. Anybody, anything else before we close out? Good to see you, Reverend Camp. Good to see you, Kyle Rose Louder. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Amen. All right, let us pray. God, our Father, we thank you again for allowing us to come together. We thank you for each and every person that's on this panel. We thank you for every person that joins us on Facebook Live while we're live, and then during the week when they join us. We pray to God that something will be said and something will be done to save lives, to God, especially our children, our women and our children. We pray to God you will watch over them, then especially our men that deal with police interaction more than our women and our children. We ask that God that you will cover them and keep them from all hurt, harm, and danger. Bless every person that hears our voice. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Hey, Donald.
Oh my God, hold up.